So welcome everyone, and I think that we are now ready to start, and I hope you are all doing well and staying safe. And first of all, thank you so much for participating on the Dare to Do More challenge. So during this webinar, you will get the chance to hear from our current PepsiCo grads who participated in the past year's Dare to Do More challenge. So today we have the pleasure to have with us Rina, Georgie, Sven and Marike with us, and they will share their experience with all of you. What it's like to be in a PepsiCo graduate program. They will give you tips on how to develop your business case. And at the end of the presentation, we will dedicate some time to answer all your questions. So just a few words about us. My name is Monica Garcia, and I'm from Barcelona. I have a bachelor's degree in tourism, and I have been working in different industries, as on the private yacht industry, on tourism, and finally in consumer goods. I joined PepsiCo in 2015 as an executive assistant in IT, and after 2 years, I moved to the talent acquisition team, working with the lead of the executive hiring in Europe. On June last year, I joined the COE campus team, focusing in early careers all across Europe.
Hi everyone, and thanks for joining. So my name is Mara. I have a background in work and organizational psychology, and I joined the PepsiCo talent acquisition team in 2019, based in Barcelona, and specializing in early careers for the whole region of Europe. So a great focus of my role ever since I joined is the Dare to Do More challenge, which you are all, of course, well aware of right now.
So, as you already know, the challenge was launched on the 1st of September. During the first stage, you will be resistant to the challenge, brainstorm your response, and share your business case with us. Remember that you will be granted access to a special online game where you will be able to learn more about our brands and culture, play games, sum up points, and win amazing prizes. After assessing all the submissions, will be the ideas that grab our attention, and the finest business minds will be selected to proceed to the second stage, the local finals. The selected challengers will be sent an online assessment, and the best will be invited for the local finals. Before these finals, you will have the opportunity to join a mentoring webinar where our business leaders will give you some tips on how to present your business case in front of a jury. During the local finals, apart from presenting your business case, you will be having an interview and competing for a potential graduate position at PepsiCo and a place in the Euro finals. In the final stage, the Euro finals, you'll go head-to-head and compete for the grand prize along with candidates from all over Europe. The Dare to Do More finals will take place on summer 2021 in Barcelona.
So now we will focus a bit more on the first stage of the challenge, which is currently in place. So basically, this first stage that you're all in has to do with developing your business case and submitting your application form. So please remember that the deadline to submit everything is by October 16. During this first stage, we are offering you with various resources to support you in your business case delivery. So more specifically, business case guidelines and business case examples from past year's participants. So these two documents can be downloaded through your participation form in the business case field. You just need to click on the download instructions button. Also similar to today, we are going to be hosting weekly mini webinar sessions until the end of the registration period. And also, as a reminder, we have chat support in the platform where you can ask any questions that may arise in the process. So now, focusing a bit more on your business case, you need to make sure that it includes some main points. So basically, of course, the explanation of your idea, the rationale between choosing a specific trend, how you think PepsiCo can harness this trend, and an overview of your implementation strategy and financial model of how you would invest the proposed budget. Also, please keep in mind that the business case doesn't have to be long. It should have a length of 8 slides maximum. So all of these points, along with more detailed information and tips, can be found in the detailed business case instructions that you can find in your participation form. Also, a big reminder, once again, about the deadline. You have to submit everything by the 16th of October. So, as Monica mentioned before, just because of being a Dare to Do More participant, we're giving you exclusive access to our PepsiCo Games web application. If you haven't tried it yet, we really encourage you to try it. So it's super easy to access and very fun. So basically, you just need to open the PepsiCo Games link that you can see on screen on your browser, or just scan this QR code, which will take you to pepsicogames.com. You need to use the same email that you used for your Dare to Do More registration in order to log in. And by using the features of this app, you sum up points for a special surprise present. Just a reminder that these games are only for fun and do not affect any of the features of the stages of the Dare to Do More challenge. So now it's time to hear from our special guests. So current PepsiCo grads will be sharing with you their experience with the challenge in the graduate programs, and will be sharing with you also tips and tricks for the business case. So after they present, there will be a live Q&A, so you will be able to ask them questions or share any challenges that you're facing or ask for any recommendations. So now I'm handing it over to Rina. Hi, Rina. Thanks for joining.
Hi everyone, nice to meet you all, and thanks for inviting me. So yeah, I'll just tell you a little bit about my experience of the Dare to Do More challenge and joining PepsiCo. So I already was based in the UK when I applied for the challenge, and what really drew me to applying for PepsiCo is I found that the competition sounded really exciting and really fun, and I knew it was a company that you know I wanted to work for. So yeah, it was really exciting from the beginning. And the role that I'm in now is the digital program. So it's a 1-year scheme, and it consists of 2 rotations. Usually it's 6 months in in e-commerce and 6 months in digital marketing. So currently I'm working in food delivery. So that's my current role. But when I first joined PepsiCo in September 2019, I did my first rotation in PepsiCo Europe, working in the digital product and experience team. So that was things like looking at the at voice and Google Assistant and Alexa, and seeing how can we use our brands on these platforms. So one of the things I helped with there was testing the Alexa Quaker Oats skill that PepsiCo have launched in the UK. So that was really exciting. And then my second rotation is the one I'm just completing now, which is in the rapid delivery team. So it's all to do with food delivery, working with accounts like Uber Eats and Deliveroo, and ensuring our products have visibility on those apps. And yeah, super happy to say that in terms of next steps, I'll be staying in PepsiCo, and I'm starting a new role end of this week within the same team, but as a rapid delivery executive. So yeah, super exciting. And then before I applied, I was studying at Aston University in the UK, and I studied international business and economics. And as part of that, I did a 1-year industrial placement in a mergers and acquisitions team. So that was really interesting as well. And then yeah, I guess moving on to the actual competition. On the left of the bottom of the screen, you can see my idea. So it was essentially using the Quaker Oats brand, but to roll out a product that would be suitable for the entire day. So it was like, the concept was to have real foods mixed with oats, so you could have sweet bites. So I called them real superfood bites. And there were things made with real lentils. They had like real bananas in there and sweet potatoes. So I'm really passionate about food and interested in eating healthily. And yeah, it was just something I was interested in, and so incorporated that into my idea. And I guess I researched quite a few different trends at the time, and things like plant-based snacks were really trendy at the time, and I guess they still are. So that's probably another tip I would give, is to look at what's out there. It doesn't necessarily have to be a product, but kind of just try to inspire yourself by what's already trending, and what research is suggesting you to. So yeah, I was really excited to kind of launch my idea in the finals. Actually brought some samples of my product to the finals, which was really cool as well, to have them tried by senior stakeholders. But yeah, my best part of the Dare to Do More challenge, I would say, is hearing all of the ideas from all of the different participants. So everybody had such amazing ideas, and I felt so inspired, and the caliber of everyone that was there was just super high. And yeah, it was a really, really fun experience. And then presenting and speaking to senior leaders. So I really got the opportunity to speak to people like the vice president of digital, which was really cool because I'd be joining her team. So yeah, it was really great to have that experience from the beginning. And I have to say, throughout, since joining PepsiCo, I've felt everyone's very open to speaking to you, no matter what level or position you might be in. So that's something really nice about the company. And then my experience is that it's been a really big learning for me. There've been tons of opportunities, some that I've found myself, and others that I've been offered by managers who've been really invested in my development and my growth. And I would say, if you want to be in a company where you'll have a lot of responsibility, a lot of ownership, and be turning up every day as a leader, then this is definitely the place for you to apply. And then tips in terms of the challenge, I would say choose something that you're passionate about and that you kind of really believe in, because you'll be able to get that passion across. And then one of the key tips that we were given, which I found was really useful, was that when you're actually presenting your case, to have a good structure to it. So when you present your presentation, have a strong start, a good middle, and a good end, and try to tell a story throughout your presentation, and just really practice your presentation so that it's so that it comes off as best as possible. But yeah, I guess that's my grad experience so far.
Perfect. Thanks, Rina. It has been really amazing to hear about your experience. So now I'm going to hand it over to Georgie. Georgie, hi. Welcome.
Hi. Thank you. Hi, everybody. Can't see your faces, but nice to meet you all regardless. Thank you for having me here today. Just quickly to introduce myself. So I started in PepsiCo 3 years ago this month. I was one of the guinea pigs of the Dare to Do More challenge when it launched 3 years ago, and I've now technically completed the Insights grad scheme. So I've had 3 different roles through this period. I started off in consumer insights, covering Western Europe and Sub-Saharan Africa for our snacks brands. So I was working on Lay's, Walker's, Doritos, Sensations, Champions League. I got the opportunity to go and present in Wembley Stadium. It was a really awesome first year and far exceeded my expectations. In my second year, I moved into a global role. So I was in strategic insights, working on our trend prediction capability, which obviously followed on from the challenge and was brand new technology, super, super exciting, loads of data, which was really great for me. And again, I got the opportunity to travel. I went to Istanbul and Moscow and met so many different people within PepsiCo. And I'm currently finishing my final rotation of the 3-year scheme. So I'm in a commercial insights role for UK Snacks, looking at kind of analysing and using that analysis of our snacks performance to inform our future brand strategy. I guess before that, I worked in a marketing role for a short period. And before that, I was at Bristol studying languages. So completely different to Insights, completely different world. but one that kind of taught me the discipline that you need to start a grad scheme and jump in the deep end, let's just say. In terms of my idea, I came up with the idea for Shoot Boost, which is a 100% natural sports energy drink. I actually came up with this idea when I was living and working in Brazil as part of my year abroad for my degree. I studied Portuguese and French. And what was really interesting for me about the challenge was the ability to combine both my creativity to come up with the idea and sell the idea, but also my analytical skills to mine for, you know, data that was available to me and insights that really enabled me to sell my story to the judges and the jury. The other thing that I really enjoyed, and I'd strongly urge you all to kind of take advantage of, is all of the great opportunities for contact with the PepsiCo team, mentoring that the team have just mentioned, and anything else that enables you to speak to the team and to receive their feedback and their advice for bettering your business case. Because I know they really helped me. My business plan went from you know, average to a good plan at the end of their coaching. And in terms of my graduate experience, the best parts so far, I've touched on a couple of them. You know, the first one was just being thrown in the deep end, being given so much responsibility and trust from day one. I thought I'd be, you know, doing small projects, but actually working on things like the Champions League from month 2 was just phenomenal. And also for me, I'm also a massive foodie. So having the opportunity to work on brands that I love and that I've grown up with, like Walkers and Sensations crisps, was just, yeah, phenomenal. And then I think I put together another slide with just some specific tips and tricks. Yeah, so just a couple of bits here quickly from me to give you a bit of advice and help with coming up with an idea and then also putting together your business case. Because I know when I started to do this, I didn't really know where to start looking. So the first piece of advice I'd give you for coming up with an idea is, if applicable, if you have any ideas, take inspiration from your travels. I know this is something we do within PepsiCo quite a lot. We look to other geographies, we look to other markets and take whether it's their kind of products or their marketing ideas and bring them across to the UK. So if you've been somewhere or saw an interesting product, that's something that you could bring to life with your business idea. I think also Rena mentioned, but start with something that's really important to you. So whether that's health or sustainability, that can be a great place to start and brainstorm ideas from there. Also, I was concerned about this when I was putting my business case together, but it doesn't need to be something that already exists. It can be something that's completely left field, that's, you know, completely new to the business. It doesn't think outside the box, in summary. And then when you're putting together your business case, one of the things that I struggled with was where to find the insights and the data points and evidence to build your story. And there are lots of free websites online, so you can access data on Statista, Euromonitor, excuse me, The Grocer, Talking Retail. All of these places have lots of free and accessible information that you can leverage. Your university, if you're still currently studying as well, may have some free resources. I wasn't at university at the time, but I know that a few people in my year went to their university and accessed the business school's resources. And then finally, don't worry about having loads and loads of data, a specific data point for every argument you're making. It's not what you have, but it's how you use it in your storytelling. And one of the things that I was taught was that one data point can actually tell the story that 7 could if you say it in a better way. So yeah, that's everything from me. Thank you.
Great, thank you. That has been really great advice and very insightful. So now I'm going to hand it over to Sven. Hi, Sven.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. My name is Sven, and I recently joined PepsiCo. So last year in 2019 as a supply chain grad in Belgium. And the supply chain graduate program is divided into two different parts. So the first part, I started at the headquarters with different kind of rotations in the supply chain at the headquarters. Then it's including customer service, logistics, planning, demand planning. So I rotated every 2-3 months within all the different kind of teams in at the headquarters. And then as from September 2020, I'm currently working as a frontline manager in the production plant in Belgium. So it's a whole different kind of environment. As you see, I'm also a little bit different clothed than any other time. But it's a really nice experience to also see what's happening within the production plant of our beloved products. Maybe something more about myself. So I'm from Leuven, so it's a small university town in Belgium, and I studied over there chemical engineering, more specific into the material sciences. And then afterwards I did another postgraduate into innovative entrepreneurship for engineers. And over there I also really saw that I wanted to do I did some internships into R&D and so on, but I saw them and I experienced that I really wanted to go into the supply chain, into the hard decisions and the fast-moving environment, and really was something that I liked. Something more about my idea. So my idea was I couldn't find the exact visuals anymore, so I just placed a little replacement of it. But my idea was the box to bag. So as an engineer, I really like to create things and think more about the technical details. So it's also a nice experience that PepsiCo is not only about the digital part of it, which is also very important, but I came up with a really physical idea. So a new kind of packaging bag, especially for the e-commerce trend, because I saw that PepsiCo is investing a lot in e-commerce. So I thought, why can't we make a more sustainable packaging bag? And it actually, the idea came up with me while I was working at as a student job at Bergera Montvailleur. So it's a retailer of Caterpillar. So the big trucks and so I was working over there as a storekeeper, and I saw that there was a lot of carton boards and a lot of boxes and a lot of single-use materials that they throw away every day, and I kind of saw that it can be better, and that by just replacing or moving towards a more circular economy, by moving that single-use waste towards a multiple-use packaging bag, I saw an opportunity and I worked my idea out for to go from a box to a bag. So very shortly, I created a packaging bag which can be inflated, which is used then for the e-commerce, and that packaging bag, that inflated air, will then protect the products inside. So you don't need single-use bubble wrap, which the consumer can't do anything with it afterwards. So yeah, also maybe the best part about about the challenges that you indeed, as Rena already told, and that you really come in contact with a lot of different ambitious people that all want to show their idea, and every single idea is like really amazing, and where you can learn a lot from it, and you just always say like, oh yeah, that's a nice idea. And also the first part, I visited the production plant in Zeebrugge, and it was actually my first interaction with PepsiCo, and also over there everybody was like a really nice vibe and a really nice atmosphere to really see what PepsiCo was like. And yeah, of course, meeting all the other grads was also a really nice experience at the finals in the UK. And currently, with my graduate experience, so I'm only doing it for 1 year. I did all my rotations in the headquarters, and what I believe is really important in PepsiCo, you receive a lot of responsibility already really fast. So after 2 weeks that I was working in PepsiCo at customer service, I already had my own customer, which was actually the second biggest customer in Belgium. So you had a lot of responsibilities to already take, and then just make the best out of it and grab those opportunities to make the best out of it. Also, it's really by rotating a lot into different teams, you learn a lot from different managers, from different supervisors. You also create a really broad network within the headquarters, but also within the plants, and which is always very nice. Which is always very nice to have. And then of course I like giving smiles to people, and by giving the products by transporting the logistics part to our customers, I think it's always nice to give smiles to our consumers. If there are any questions more, you can do it in the Q&A then afterwards.
Perfect. Thanks, Sven. It was great to hear about your experience and how you came up with your idea. It was really interesting. So now, last but not least, we'll move on to Marike. Hi, Marike. Thanks for joining.
Hi, guys. Thanks for inviting me. So yeah, I'm Marike, and I'm actually doing the same thing that Sven does. I'm not going to tell you everything about it again, but we are actually, because I'm based in the Netherlands instead of in Belgium, actually do the same thing, but the other way around. So last year, I've been working as frontline manager in the lace factory in the Netherlands, which was a very nice experience because I had like a fully operational team below me with like 30 employees, I think. So it's like, I don't know whether you can still hear me. My connection seems to be.
Yes, we can hear you.
Nice. Okay, good. So like a fully operational team. So this indeed also what the rest has already said, like you get a lot of responsibility from day one. You're really able to make your own progress. You can be very proactive and you can like shape your own path. So that's really something that I enjoy a lot about PepsiCo. And maybe also a little bit more about my background. So I'm like doing the supply chain program now, but I've actually not studied anything in that direction. So I've done basically a bachelor and master within business administration, but I thought, because I'm from Germany, but I did my bachelor's in the Netherlands and my master's in Sweden. I thought I really want to go back to the Netherlands. So I was just looking for trainee programs in the Netherlands, and that's how Pepsi came up. I was not even really that interested in supply chain, but it has been like the best experience, that I could have had, I think. So also for you guys, imagine you've studied something different than you are applying for now. I think that, that can just work, you know. It just depends on what you make out of it yourself. That's also great about this company. And then about my idea, well, my idea was called Sustainable Vegetable Sourcing to expand the naked product range, and then especially focusing on the US. I think that's also a question that some of you guys had. So I applied for a program in the Netherlands, but anyways, I focused on the US because I thought that was the biggest market. And then in that sense, my idea said like grow your own vegetables vertically in geothermal greenhouses near naked factories to reduce the distance food travels. Well, that's a whole lot because that's like basically 3 different concepts in one. So geothermal greenhouses, naked factories, and then also a new product. That's maybe a tip for you guys that I can share now. So if you are doing your business case, it doesn't matter whether it's simple. It can anyways be very good because my idea was very complex to work out. And how did I come up with that? Well, I thought myself, what am I actually looking for in a product today? So really what, like the rest said, start by with yourself. So I was, I was looking for like a product that provides me with nutrition and health that also fits my rather green lifestyle. And then I wanted to buy from a company that has a purpose. And then I looked for PepsiCo's mission and vision, and that's winning with purpose. So in that sense, you can also find the link very good on what the company is doing and wanting, and then really perfectly tune your idea based on that. Yeah, and best part of the Dare to Do More, well, I really think like the rest, meeting inspiring candidates and also business leaders was really nice. I also traveled to Reading, so I know Sven and Rina actually from there. It was so nice to be able to present your case, and indeed you meet like a lot of ambitious people. All the business leaders are super open. You can kind of ask any questions. So I've already now had contact with the senior vice president of supply chain, which I think can also help you to grow your career in the long run. And yeah, I was also proud that I could be there, like among the last 25 people that actually made it to Reading. And about my experience so far, well, I've noted down like yeah, quite a lot of things here, but I really think like PepsiCo, it's like a fast-paced environment, so no day is like the other. This is also what makes it like really interesting and challenging. You have a lot of responsibility and a lot of trust and freedom from day one, but it's also really important that you make this your own journey. So don't like hesitate to bring in your own ideas and say like, oh, I would like to do this differently. They're all open for that, and they actually appreciate it if you do that. About this program, when I'm not sure whether it's being offered this year, I don't think so actually, but I think it's really nice that you get like end-to-end knowledge, and then in this case about supply chain. But I'm sure that in the other programs, it's also shaped in a way that you really get to know like a whole package of things. And then also what others already said, approachability and openness of top management, where you can really see that here in the headquarters and also in the production plants, people are so open, willing to help. This is also why I decided to work in the Netherlands and not in Germany, actually, because there's like a lot of hierarchy. Yeah, and teamwork makes the dream work. Well, it's also so nice to have these events, for example, to connect with other graduates. Yeah, and really stay in touch. And if you have any more questions to me specifically or in general, then please go and ask in the chat box.
Thank you so much, Marike, Sven, Georgie, and Rina for sharing your experience. And just to let you know that there will be more webinars coming in the next few weeks with more PepsiCo grads sharing their experience. And we will have one specific for procurement in case you want to know more about this function in PepsiCo. So please remember to submit your participation form before the 16th of October, and looking forward to seeing you all in the finals. And I think now we will now dedicate the remaining time for live questions. So please submit your questions on the Q&A.
Perfect. So reviewing the questions that we have received. So regarding this webinar, because I see that somebody's asking to have access in this presentation, so we will share afterwards the information shared, so no worries about that. I can see that one person cannot find the instructions for the business case and the examples. So basically, this can be found when you log in the Dare to Do More platform and you go to My Space. On your participation form, you scroll down until the business case field where you actually need to attach the business case. And there is a button to download this information. If you have any other trouble finding it, you can also reach to us through our chat support on the platform as well.
There's someone asking at which stage of the challenge may I be offered with a graduate program job offer. So this will happen after the local finals. So it will be around December.
Also a question about if it's possible to apply in more than one country. So the answer is no. When you apply, you need to select a specific country and function. So we really do encourage you to take advantage of the fact that we have our grads here for any questions that you have about how they got inspiration or their steps or anything that they have shared with us before. So we have questions about the financial overview that we asked for in the business case. So basically it needs to be included in the 8 slides, and it should be a general overview of how you would spend the budget. So we have a question about who gets offered a graduate position. So basically the graduate positions are given to the winners of the local finals. So out of the people that get a position, some will be invited to the Europe finals, where they would compete for the extra prizes that we are going to offer.
Someone is asking if this session will be recorded. So yes, we are recording this session, and you will have access to the recording after tomorrow. From the platform, there will be a tab just for the mini webinars, and you will be able to see the recording of this session, the same but for the ones that it will happen in the next few weeks.
So let us just check the rest of the questions. There is a question about if the business case should be related to the position that you're applying. So basically, yes, it should be related to the function, and in the detailed business case instructions, you can find the exact brief.
We encourage you to have, now that we have all the grads here, they are in live, so you can just ask directly to them. So we encourage you to do some questions for them.
We have a question about if it's okay if an idea doesn't use the full budget. So it is okay, of course, but we do encourage you to find a way to invest this budget in the best way possible. I don't know if one of our grants would have any suggestion about how they decided to invest the budget or how they tackled this issue.
Maybe for me, I think the financial part was also the hardest part. But what I did, I just think a little bit logically and divided that budget into the different areas that I wanted to spend to. For instance, for my ID, I had to develop a new product, and I divided a certain amount of that budget to the development, the testing, that kind of the resources and so on. Also man hour. So I made some kind of logical exercise how to invest the best way possible that budget.
Perfect, thanks. So
someone is asking when the graduate program starts. So for the positions in Europe, the graduate programs will start in January 2021. And for the positions in UK, the graduate program will start in September 2021.
So there is a question for our grads, how long it took for you to create the business case from start to finish?
I can answer that one. So I was actually working full-time at the same time as putting together the business case, because I'd finished university. So I was doing it in the evenings. I think I made sure I did it in little bite-sized chunks, so a little bit every other day, to make sure that, because every time I went back to it, I came back to it with fresh ideas, or I'd spoken to friends and family about it. And I think I probably spent, over the course of about 3 weeks, 2-3 weeks, 7 or 8 hours in total, I'd say. That includes kind of research and searching for ideas and chatting to people about it. Yeah, probably around 7 hours, I'd say, in total.
Perfect, thanks. We have
There's
a
one question that Rina would like to answer regarding, could you help us with tips on how to make the structure of the presentation?
Yeah, I was just going to say for that one, like what really worked for a lot of the candidates was having a really clear structure. So kind of at the beginning of your presentation, having maybe a slide saying what you're going to talk about. So you're not necessarily diving straight into it, but having a bit of an agenda. So first you'll talk about like the challenge that you're solving, and then you'll go into like I don't know exactly how you would, you know, what your topic would be, but kind of set out in a few bullet points each part of the presentation and what you'll be covering in each section. And then in terms of the actual story, so for mine, what I tried to do was highlight first what the problem I was trying to solve was, and then kind of talking about like, this is the problem, these are the statistics that prove that why this is a challenge. And then so mine was about healthy snacking on the go and how that's a challenge and why there's a need out there. And then afterwards I went into okay, this is my idea and this is how and why it works. So I would say like really try to follow a story throughout, because if you try to kind of paint the problem and then how you're solving it, it seems like it works really nicely. I don't know if anyone else had any other builds on that, but I think have a strong start, middle and end, have a slide of an agenda of what you'll discuss, and then try to tell a story and keep it quite interesting and engaging throughout. I think that really helps.
Thanks, Rina. That's certainly very good advice. So we have one question: if the business case has to do only with a new product, or if it can also do with a new process. So the answer is that it doesn't have to be only the suggestion of a new product. So of course, it could also be related to a new process that could be implemented, or even an improvement in an existing process. So we have one question around the procurement session next week. So next Tuesday, on the 29th, we're going to host a procurement specific webinar. We will have leaders from the procurement function joining that webinar and talking a bit more about on what is procurement and shedding light about procurement in general in PepsiCo. And we'll be giving you more information about this function so that you can also have a general overview and see if that would be interesting for you to apply for. So we have another question regarding which aspects of the business case are the most important. Georgie, would you like to give us your insights on this, on how you tackle this with your business case?
Yeah. So I think the first thing I'd say is, as has already been mentioned, the guidelines do vary slightly for the different schemes. So for insights and marketing, for example, it's slightly different. So I can only talk about insights, but there is equal weighting to all of the different aspects of the business case from my experience. But from an insights specific point of view, what they're very keen for you to show is that you have thoroughly kind of thought through what the problem you're trying to solve is. So that initial upfront analysis of why your product or your idea or your process should exist and why PepsiCo should buy into it. Obviously, that's even better if you can tie it into PepsiCo's sustainability agenda and kind of make the financial section make sense. But I'd say that, and I got quite hung up on this when I was doing my business case, they're not expecting you to be able to do a full, complete P&L, for example, if you're applying for an insights role and you haven't studied finance So tailor it to the specific scheme that you're applying to.
Perfect. Thanks for sharing this recommendation, Georgie. So our time is up for today, but if you have any further questions, you can submit them through the platform where you can find the chat support. And also we will be hosting more mini webinars as mentioned before, where you can also ask more questions and hear about the experience of other of our PepsiCo current grads. So thanks everyone for joining, and look forward to reviewing your business case. Have a great day.